Very good evening to everybody that is watching from home. Welcome to this very interesting and exciting conversation between political leaders in the town of Walvis Bay. My name is JWBRA. It's a special broadcast where we are engaging those political leaders to share with us and indeed the residents of this harbour town what their plans are ahead of the election in November. That is the regional council and the local authority elections. My name is JWBRA. I will just introduce my panel before I sit down and then engage all of them. The first guest on my immediate left is Lawrence Naib. He's from the Walvis Bay Community Association. Thank you, sir, for making time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, wonderful. Next to him is Augustinium Harwood. I hope I got the click right. That is is the LPM, the Land and People's Movement Youth Command Leader here in Erongo region. And next to Mr. Garweb is, bear with me, Rejoice Philippus. She is the regional chairperson of the Affirmative Repossession Movement. Thank you for making time. And next to her is Patrick Shivolo Batronius. He is the Swapo District Coordinator for Walvis Bay. Thank you, Dr. Shivolo, for making time. And next to him is Mr. Kuhanga. That is Godfrey Kuhanga. He's the Popular Democratic Movement candidate for the Walvis Bay rural constituency. That is now in the regional council election. And next to him is Sharon Roots. She is from the joint Walvis Bay Residents Association. Welcome, Sharon. And technically, perhaps our host is Deputy Mayor of Walvis Bay. That is Sarah Mutondoka. She's the Deputy Mayor of the town of Walvis Bay. And she is from the Independent Patriots for Change. Thank you, Deputy Mayor, for making time. Thank you. Wonderful. The mic, should I use it? Should I continue to use it? Okay, thank you. We will start with the Deputy Mayor, our host. It has been 5 years, very difficult years, but also perhaps years with a lot of opportunities, especially from those of you that are leading the council at the moment. If you can tell us how those 5 years have been in terms of the challenges, in terms of what you as the leadership, the current leadership, were able to do for the people of Walvis Bay.
Thank you very much, Taiwo. Is on?
Yes.
The reason I came to sit here is because I didn't want to start with you, but somehow you don't want to leave me alone. Yes, this journey has started in 2020 when we were elected into council, and it has been one of a ride, definitely. And perhaps before I continue, good evening to the fellow panelists and good evening to our residents. Yes. If I can point out the challenges, which have been so many, but because of the time, I'll point out the key ones. Yes. One of the challenges that we have had was the lack of the CEO, because we know the CEO is the engine of the administrative affairs of council, and in absence of that, of course, we have had the acting CEOs, but we know someone acting does not really fully work out the scope of the work as expected. So that was one of the key challenges that we have had. The other one, when we came into council, is that we found the council coffers empty. The council was operating on a break-even basis, and that makes it, or that made it very difficult for us to start on with the key projects that we wanted to start with, because there was no funds. Then when we reached out, I think in our second year, to our line ministry for funds, especially for land servicing, we were told that there is no funds. You have to make your own ways in delivering the services to the people. That was the second key challenge, the lack of capital for capital projects. The other key challenge I think that we're battling is the old dilapidated infrastructure. That basically, that was the roads, the sewer infrastructure. These facilities are as old as they can be. That was one of the key challenges, because now instead of starting with your project, we were left to actually start from scratch, because there was nothing that we could work with. The roads, I think at the beginning of our second year, 2022, it rained, and that rain washed away our roads. And one wonders what kind of roads were left there. We thought we had the roads, but then somehow there was just gravel roads with covered with a black mix of concrete and cement. So in that one go, all the roads were gone. So that was when our nightmare also started. Enough with those challenges, even though there are many, that is some of the key that we have battled with. And what have we done as council? What were we able to, when we came into council, the famous devastating fire of Tualoloka. So the outcry at the time was, people want land. People want places that they can call their own. That was really the outcry at the time. And even though this outcry is national, people in other urban areas are crying for land. So we made it one of our objectives to say, if there's one thing that we are going to do, is to give land to our people and really just restore the dignity as we have promised. So speaking in terms of land delivery, we, as I mentioned earlier, that having reached out to our line ministry, we were told there's no funds or provide plans, whatever the case may be at the time. We then decided, how else are we going to provide the land to the people? Because the ministry says, or the government, you must provide service to land. Yeah. And when you service the land, you have to recoup what you have put in. So now, servicing land in Walvis Bay is capital intensive. And when you service land here, land becomes expensive because of how much money you put in to service this land. So then it almost becomes impossible to the ultra land, but when you service, it still becomes unaffordable to our people. We then said, we are going to give this land to the people regardless, no matter what and at what cost. Our people, we told them to organize themselves into community saving groups. And this is the initiative that we embarked upon to say, once you register yourself, we allocated land to saving groups. One of them was is called the backyard tenants. That group has more than 1,000 members, and we have given them a block at Farm 37. The other one is called the October Seafarers. This is the group of fishermen that have been stranded at Okapale, and we just thought maybe we should also do something for these fishermen. Some of them came to Walvis Bay many years ago. They have been staying in shacks, and as we speak today, we have given them a block, which I hope there are fishing companies who come on board to assist them to build and construct properties that they can call their own. The other ones that we have given land to is Nalitungwe Saving Group. These ones are still waiting for the final approval. The land is still in reservation because they are still working on some paperwork. So other than these community projects, we have also partners with the private developers. We have allocated them 4 blocks there in Naravel that they must now start. They are just in the processes of township establishment because these processes can be quite lengthy. So we have project is also underway because they are also under that call of the government to say we must construct a number of houses within a financial year. Then we also allocated 3 blocks to Sheikh Dwellers Federation of Namibia, still at Farm 37. They are also under that call of government to start with this project. Year, Walvis Bay under opposition deny government land to service, which is not true. Walvis Bay is one of those examples that have come to the party and answered that call of the president. I think in a nutshell, that is all on land delivery. If I can go to the roads, as I've mentioned earlier, you should have given me 1 hour if you ask me that question of what have we done, because I do believe this council has done a lot. Yeah. So when it comes to the roads, Toivo, I mentioned earlier on that earlier in our council tenure, it rained and all of our roads were washed away. So then that kind of woke us up to say, what kind of roads did we find here? So there was no roads. That's why they were able to be washed away in just that one rain. So then we decided we cannot keep constructing roads that keep being washed away every time it rained. We then thought we must embark upon a project and a program to build quality roads in Walvis Bay that can withstand the environmental factors that we have here that are durable. Yeah. So then we reached out to local, road authority and road administration fund to say these are the circumstances, and luckily they have agreed to our request. As we speak, they have allocated 400 million to Walvis Bay with the construction or for the construction of the roads. This project has been commissioned or was commissioned last year in September. As we speak, their contractors are on site. And they have started, but we have one problem. What is this? The sewer infrastructure in Walvis Bay is under the roads. It's in the roads under. So now these people, as they started to construct, through the compacting, they realized that the infrastructure is always dilapidated. It is collapsing. Yeah. So we have one major problem that is now delaying that process of the construction and the rehabilitation of the roads, because now we have to replace the sewer infrastructure at the same time. So this project that was earmarked to be finished in the period of 3 to 5 years, we are probably going to be looking at a longer period than that because of these challenges that we are encountering in the process. Because obviously we have to replace the sewer and only then we will continue with the construction of the road. As we speak, we only managed to do I think Ellen Dean Martin Street, which is still not complete yet, but it's nearly there, and 3rd Street, that is where we are. We have spent almost now a year there because of these challenges that we are experiencing. That is on the roads. That is the plan that we want to build. We want Walvis Bay to have good quality roads, and we have partnered with those institutions to ensure that this dream becomes a reality. The other thing, when it comes to waste, you want to?
No, I want to. I don't want you to finish all your. I suspect there will be a lot of questions around, so don't shoot all your shots just yet. Okay. But I appreciate. I think that the framework of what you just said is important. We'll come back to you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me talk to that Bartholomeus. Who is from the ruling party, Swapo. That is the ruling party nationally, not here locally. Maybe tell us about, as a leadership of the party here in Walvis Bay, there was a turning point in 2020 when the party couldn't, when you lost power, basically. What factors in your assessment as the leadership led to the 2020 results, and how do you intend to rectify those if voted back into power again this time around?
Thank you very much, Toivo. Yes, as a ruling party, I would like to start with that Swapo has been ruling this town since 1994. Yeah. And we have commanding councils with 8 seats. Of course, it's good that you have asked that question up to the turning point of 2020. Those who know Walvis Bay well, since 1994, we have famous areas that are well known, like White Church. There is a turning that is going to Old Police Station, the police station. And then there is houses in the corner that had been called fisheries houses. That was the size of Quisebmund, for instance, to say. They have been, from 1994, let me say that NHE started building houses here in 1997. And the white church that is there, it has been standing alone in 1998. Anything beyond that, if we are going to so-called Ovambo Beach, we used to go through the dunes. And then, by then, if we are going to like council's office, the rural one, that way dunes. There were no tutoring primary school and so on. Going to Naraval is the same, and in town, there is an area that's called a Fairway Estate. That was an army camp. So, and then we have any other extensions there. All those areas now, they are residential area. So that is the development that have been planned since 1994. And then the size of the Walvis Bay that we are here now is the planned development that have been going constantly. Now, we have the town planners, we have the town engineers that have been doing that job. But of course, I remember when our councillors at the same time, they have decided that whenever we are building houses, we service the land, and the thing that we need to start with is also we need to start with the roads. And also we have to, as we are starting with the roads, also we have to look at the old streets that have been in existence, so that they can be serviced also at the same time. Yeah. So the development up to where we are now, the way the town is now, it came that way. So now, come 2020, let's say, Walvis Bay have been faced with different challenges. But of course, we cannot say Walvis Bay, Swapo lose power in Walvis Bay because of our councils were not doing well. But of course, you know, there has been a wind of change that came. We all know, and people like to do something. So as the community saw the good words being mentioned in the street, they have to go and test those words. And that is what had happened. But of course, we have a lot of challenges being the COVID and the downturns of the economy and so on. And of course, people feel that, no, it is Swapo that is bringing all these things. And you know, when COVID came, everything was politicized that it's a Swapo thing, it's a Swapo thing. Although the government was trying to protect the lives of the people, everything was politicized. So those were the challenges, and that it was almost brought Swapo to its needs here. But of course, let's not forget about the strikes for Okapare, fishermen, those who were, of course, we have taken the cognizance that these brothers, they have their genuine concern because they have not been enjoying the benefit that they're supposed to get from their employers. And of course, they went on the strike, and the government came in, and of course, we know that within months or so, and those people we went back to see now, they are currently enjoying those benefits. The only unfortunate part is that those who are enjoying the benefit are not the ones who have fought for the benefit. Same like when our forefathers went in exile to fight, they are in unmarked graves, but...
let me just talk to Mr. Kuhanga there. Mr. Kuhanga, you are a very famous man around this town, and you became famous because of the very issue that the Bartholomeus just spoke about, which is the Okapale fishermen issue. Then This week, I called PDM. I said to them, I need a representative of your party to take part in this conversation. And guess whose name popped up? Mr. Kuhanga. How did that come about? What's happening here? Have you been riding on the wave for Kapale people to get into politics?
Yeah, thank you very much. Firstly, I will say no, because I was elected by the people to lead them as the chairperson of the Okapare fishermen. And due to my leadership in the servanthood that I render to the fishermen, and I was also brought up in a home that was then DTA. So I grow up knowing that I'm just for that party. And when the leadership approached me, say they see the capability in me, I just took it. And as a leader of these Okapare fishermen, I exclude my political affiliation to the issue of the Okapare. So that's two different things. Politics is apart as a PTM candidate when coming to the issue of Okapare. So there, at Okapare issues, we don't deal with politics because we are affiliated to different political parties.
With different political parties. Okay, give us, just not in so many words, a sense of what you see happening in this town that sort of made you put up your hand to say, look, this can't be correct. I want to be elected so that I address that. In not so many words.
Yeah, the first thing is, as I mentioned already, that I'm a servant of the people. And not only for the fishermen, but I will be for the whole residents of fishing. Seeing people, more than 1,000 lives, stationed at Kwisemun Stadium for 10 years. But when we come to elections, it's when we see that there is people there. That's the first part that I want to correct. And secondly, also observing that when our dignitaries, like our Honorable Excellency, our President, and our ministers come to visit our town, you observe that it's the time that the Walvis Bay municipality start to sweep the streets and start to try to make to close these potholes for the machetes benches, for them not to go in these potholes and things. So we have to do things for the residents of the people, not when our leaders come so that they cannot see how the place looks like. So if I have to become in power, that's what I want to correct. To do the things for the residents, not to be seen that we are fine while we are not fine.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, sir. Sharon, talk to us. Your association, the Joint Residents Association, Walvis Bay Residents Association, is having one seat on council at the moment. I don't know if it's the first time that you have a seat there, but have you been able to, I mean, you are part of the collective still. People say that when this success obtained by this council, all of you must get credit. But equally, when we talk about potholes and only making the roads when the president is coming, you are also part of that. If you can tell us how the 5 years have been from the association's perspective, and why you must have now more than one seat on that council going forward.
Thank you for that question, Toivo. Our councillor that's in is a previous councillor and mayor of Walvis Bay, so it was a good base to start on. He was the only, or is the only, experienced councillor in the House. Unfortunately, being one person, He represents the whole of Walvis Bay, and we've seen that numerous times. We are the joint Walvis Bay Residents Association, and therefore we are accountable only to our residents. Now, it's very difficult for him to put in motions because our main area of concern is at the municipality that doesn't have a performance management system in place. They don't have an internal auditor in-house. These are just some of the points that we've been trying to get going. But unfortunately, when he stands up in council man alone against political parties who don't answer really to the people, they answer to their head office, and we answer to our people, it's very difficult for him to stand there and not get any support of any of the councillors on the problems that he has mentioned. Things that happened, one of his motions that he had put in was water security, and there was a big fear of what could happen. And if I recall it, was never accepted. It wasn't seconded. And I think it wasn't a month after that when there was a big issue there, what he'd spoken about. Now it was too late. We had 3 months, I think, of low pressure or no pressure in town. We all suffered. And if they had started something then when he put in the motion, it could have been avoided. What we do here is, what haven't we done? We clean the streets, and not because of anything, but it's because of the embarrassment of seeing the state of our streets. So why wouldn't I take a broom and clean the street? And it also makes me feel good if I see a street that at least looks tidy and neat. And I just feel too, while working in Kisepmond now, at the beginning of the year for quite a few weeks, that our people need education. Basic things like littering, they don't know about it. You speak to the children, they don't know about it. They don't think it's bad to throw paper down. And let me tell you, stocky lacquers, earbuds, chips, and sweet and broken glass is the most things that you pick up, apart from all the fraught stuff and the unsmelly stuff and all that. But the basics is not with the community. If you speak to the parents, their own yard looks terrible. And after you speak to them and make them aware of why, and look at this and why that, then they get up and actually do something about it. It was never, they didn't strike it. Listen, this is my area, I must keep it clean. Lots of things came out there. The children, I think, were the most important. And after a 10-minute talk to kids, they were running around and cleaning up. They ran home because I said to them, where do you start? You start at home. So we must empower our youth with this type of information. It's just basics. This is really the basics. But as far as anything else goes, the roads, in all fairness, I think our forefathers never envisioned that Walvis Bay would end up as big as what we are today. They didn't think we were going to have these huge trucks carrying copper and all these heavy metals and things. And they built the roads for 6 to 10 ton. We're averaging now anything from 30 odd to over 55 tons. No wonder it's going like it's going. And because there is no backup for the trucks, and because they come from Central Africa mostly now, and using Walvis Bay as a safe route to the harbour, in favour of Durban, which to us should be a feather in the cap, there's no control in the town anymore. You can barely drive down certain roads because of the trucks that are parked 3 next to each other. Yeah. And they don't come from here. They don't give a damn about our suffering that we have. We have little cars that are trying to maneuver through this traffic. It just cannot be done. But also, where must they park? If you tell them you can't stop here, you can't park in the residential areas, you can't take a shortcut through Narraville with tons and tons of marble on the back of your truck. Yeah. Then they say, well, where must I go? Because they don't have local depots and home depots to put their vehicles in, and that's a very big problem. They've got now 3 truck ports that are going to be built. One has broken ground already. I don't know how far they've got so far with that we can start getting our trucks out of town, but that's a big issue.
Thank you, Sharon. Before I let you go, maybe you just to explain we saw the poster of your association, and everybody's talking about the lack of diversity in your candidates. How do you explain that?
Well, I don't think I have to explain it as such. It's one of those things that have happened. We actually advertised for people to come in as candidates, because we also realize that we must have people that knows what's going on in Kiesepmund and at Narreville and Farm 37 or the coastal suburbs, and we couldn't get anybody. The few that we did have along the line through various reasons had to pursue other things in their lives, and we lost them, but they are still very active with us, so we haven't lost them at all, but we just haven't got them on the committee anymore either. Now that this lot has come out, now suddenly we're getting calls and I'm getting messages and people just want to join us. But all the time that we put it out there, there was nothing to hide. It was out there, it was in the social media everywhere. We didn't get the reaction. And in fact, what the point is that most people have got their political party, and I've got no problem with that. I've also got one. Yeah. But when it comes to our town, this is a personal matter, because I live here. Our children are here. We go to school, we work. We get friends coming here. We're embarrassed when they come. First thing I say, I apologize for the roads. That's the first thing that comes out of my mouth. But we are proud of what we do. And the parties, it's almost like a customary thing or traditional thing, that the party, the whole family is a political party, and then they think that because they voted presidential or the National Assembly with that party, they must do the same in town. And I'm saying, no. Think about what's going on. This is personal. I cannot emphasize it more than that. It is personal. And this is where we have got, I would like to say the advantage of that we only answer to our people. Yeah. And we only hear for our people because we don't have anything other than our town. We don't aspire to go higher, because this is our people is what's important. And that is the crux of what we stand for.
Thank you, Sharon. Rejoice. You have become AR, Affirmative Repositioning Movement, is the third, at the national level, it's the third largest political party. You tried your luck in 2020 here. You were battered properly by others. How do you demonstrate this time around that you are indeed the third biggest force in the country?
Thank you so much, Toivo. First of all, I'd love to say thanks for the attendance to everybody and my fellow panelists. Well, like Toivo asked, that we had a run in 2020, but then we were just an association, just a movement, right? So for us, it was just a test run. We're just testing the grounds, and we saw what it is like, and now we are ready for those grounds. As a youth-led movement, we are here to do what needs to be done. And I'm so grateful that you first went through the people that have been in the council, the political parties that have had the exposure to do the things that they had promised all the years, but could not deliver as to most of their promises, right? As an AR movement, we are saying that we believe that for you to bring change, it needs to start with the community well-being, all right? If the community is not living in good conditions, you will not achieve what you want. It starts with your health before you can do anything. You need to be productive, and in order for you to brew productive citizens or residents of a town, the health and the conditions in which they live should meet the standards. Let me just make a small example of, let's say the example of Farm 37, where people were taken from the town of Walvis Bay, placed at Farm 37, right? People were just taken from here, placed there in an unserviced land. So what is the difference of taking the person from amongst the people in which they are living and placing them like in a desert, in a windy area with no services, no electricity, no water, no sewage? The water that is there is communal water. You need to take your bucket, go get the water in order for you to have water in the house. So what was the rush in taking people that far? I think about 2 weeks ago, we had a tragedy in Walvis Bay of a very young man that died at Farm 37 because of the distance from the basic services that they need. There is no clinic, not even a mobile one. There is no police station. There are no lights. It's for people to go do what they. These are the citizens of Walvis Bay that you want to be productive to grow the economy of this economic hub of Walvis Bay. Is that how we started off? The next thing I would like to say is, well, we need to empower our youth, right? As time goes, things are moving. We need to move with the transition of things. We are having an oil and gas industry, for instance, that is brewing, right? We've got youth that are not motivated, or they do not have the means or the access to facilities to equip them so that when this industry kicks off, finally, they are able to take up this employment. Our people are there seeking for jobs, but we need to make them employable. So we need to have the necessary facilities and also recreational facilities. We have our town of Walvis Bay is so much invested with drugs. It is so invested with drugs. Toivo, I'm a nurse by profession. So I meet this on a daily basis in my profession of how young people are affected by drugs, mentally, societal issues that are within this society. But it starts from where you are raised, Toivo. It starts from where you are coming from. The services and the facilities and the grooming that is around you, what you are exposed to. In order for us to brew or breed or produce a productive economy in this Walvis Bay that is at the end of the day going to benefit our masses, is when you start at the grassroots. Absolutely. Now you are raising a child in a basho, for instance. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it is what the circumstances are right now. When do the parents get to have private time where the kids cannot hear? And these things are where our societal issues are starting. And in order for you to fix these things, it starts with those basic services, those basic life needs according to the hierarchy of Maslow. Those are the things that you need to fix before you can fix a society. Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you, Member Joyce. Now, the meticulously named Augustinium Carweb said, talk to us. The LPM has representation on council. I think for the audience, it's just important, especially those that are watching from outside Walvis Bay, it's important just to indicate that IPC has 4 seats on council, Swapo has 3, and then the association 1, LPM 1, PDM 1. So that makes it 10 in total. So it's important just for us to have that context. LPM, what has been the experience, and how do you move to more than 1 seat so that you can really make an impact for the residents of this town?
Good evening, Toivo. Thank you for the question, and good evening to the audience and my fellow panelists. The experience in the past 5 years, when we started in 2020, we entered with 1 seat with Councillor Alfredo Bequier, and due to COVID-19, we lost him. And we sent someone in, Ryan Gordon, who is a very prominent man in Walvis Bay. Everyone sees his work on the ground, what he does for the communities, his involvement in the Farm 37 that was just mentioned recently here, how he constantly, time and again, engaged with those people and the fire victims in the Tualoloka and the Quisapunda area, how he is very vocal about the encroachment or the rise of population and how this is affecting things like fire. And some of the experiences of the landless people's movement in the council is that, number one, we should understand that we are a democratic country, and in the council, decisions are not taken by an individual. And having one seat, as much as you have innovative ideas and policies to put out to be advanced, it comes down to a thing of the joint political movements, because it's a multi-party council that is set up. So basically with one seat in the council, the ideas that you have for the residents or for the community, for the love you have for the town, to say for these ideas to manifest, it requires a majority vote, because that is what our democracy is, that is what our politics is all about, because you need to debate and you need to vote on a motion to be passed. So some of our ideas that we have for Walvis Bay that we have had since the last 5 years is things about housing and the road infrastructure and the constant banning of houses, of how to eradicate houses constantly burning down. Because if we look at areas that are mostly impacted by fires, it's Tualoloka, Tutaleni area, and if we can move out and picture being in that areas, you would see how overcrowded this is. The population is growing and the demand of housing is so high, yet again it's too expensive for the individuals to afford a house, and with the middlemen of contractors or property developers, the expenses even increases. And as Landless People's Movement, our slogan says that we care for the people's dignity and we intend to restore the dignity of the people, and having a house is one of an essential need for your dignity, or to say that you are a dignified Namibian. And being part of Walvis Bay, everybody deserves to have a decent housing, but in most of the areas you would see at one house, there are a lot of backyard flats, and this is some of the reasons that are causing the burning of the houses. And we have ideas of how to get away with this thing of a lot of shacks, or a lot of corrugated or plastic houses that are there, to say, let's build decent houses for the people, let's give people land to build houses. If you look at Walvis Bay, there is a lot of land, some land that just sits there, that has owners that are not even in Walvis Bay. But there is no initiative to say that if Garweb owned land for the past 20 years and he is not in the country or he's not in the town itself, and there is no development that is happening at this place, I think such to say that, okay, let's negotiate with this person that owns this piece of land to say we want to develop urban land for people to have houses on these affordable houses, to partner with NHE, or to say let's, apart from NHE and municipality, let's come up with maybe build Walvis Bay Together Association or something of a sort, to say affordable housing for middle incomers and domestic workers, because domestic workers earn a less amount of money, and for them to afford housing is quite a mountain to climb. But if they can be met halfway by those that are in council to say, let's help these communities this way, because Walvis Bay is a logistic hub. It's a place of economy, because we have fish, and fish brings in a lot of money. There are fishing quotas. So where is that thing of public-private partnership were to say the businessmen, businesswomen come on board with the council to say, let's address some of the issues like housing, road infrastructure and potholes, to say just for now.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Lawrence from the Walvis Bay Community Association, please talk to us. I know that your group started as just a group of activists agitating for the well-being of the community here, and now you sort of formalize yourself now as an organized unit to do that. If you can tell us, not in so many words also, what you stand for as an association as far as the well-being of the people of this town is concerned.
Thank you very much, Toivo, and good evening. Good evening to the audience, good evening to my fellow panelists and those viewers at home as well. The Walvis Bay Community Association is a consequence. We are a consequence of, the cry of the people, the cry of the poor. Because in this town, the formation of this political party, and we are a community-based association. We are not a political party. We are apolitical, we are community-based, and the formation of our association has been necessitated by the exclusion of the poor, more especially the poor. We stand for the poor. We stand for the widow. We stand for those who cannot really help themselves. It is not a secret that we have poor people in our society. Every country has poor people. Every town has poor people. But as I'm even listening to my fellow panelists, I see that on the Walvis Bay Town Council, different political parties are represented. But are the poor really represented? That's my question. Are the poor people really represented? And that is why this association stands or has been formed and what we stand for. The poor, the people that cannot really help themselves. It is not that people are lazy. We know the situation that we live in. And this country of ours is known as one of the countries with the biggest gap between the rich and the poor. And we want to bridge that gap. Because as long as there is a gap between the rich and the poor, that big gap, we have an unhealthy society. People are left out. As some of my fellow panelists have said, if we can just take a drive around this community that we are sitting in right now, you will find that people live in shacks. They just take anything that they can, any discarded material to just construct houses, and they call it home. They live without water. People live without water in Walvis Bay. It should not be. And even the municipality cuts people's water. When you bring in things like third parties like Red Force, it puts an additional extra strain on the already suffering people. And this is one of the reasons that we have decided to form this association, to look after the interest, to fight for the interest of this town. We have been doing that ever since 2020, when we first appeared on the scene. We appeared on the scene way back in 2020, and we have been there during the time of the Great Fire of Tolologa also. We've witnessed, we have been there, we've assisted. Although we were not yet registered at that time, we have assisted in terms of materials and so on. We tried to assist the people, and we still try to do that. We had marches, we had protest marches that we organized. We went to the municipality, hand over petitions, and all these things are in the interest of the poor people. When you talk of land, when you talk of housing development, even if houses are built and constructed, we have seen over the years, houses are being built and constructed for the poor, but once these houses are finished, the poor cannot afford. It's somebody who has already 5 houses in Walvis Bay who would come and take one of those houses. Poor people have been robbed of houses. They had houses, these houses that we call container houses. Many people have been robbed of their houses. Those houses were taken and sold off to the wealthy. I personally was involved in that fight. I took that fight to the municipality. I engaged the municipality. Unfortunately, it was by then already too late. Yeah. There's nothing that we could do about that. So we as an association, we are not saying that we stand only for the poor. Like one of my fellow panelists was saying, when a person, we are all human beings. We are all people. Yeah. We all have the same human needs. The same shelter, house, decent house that you need is what I also need. The unemployed also needs that. Yeah. But we are talking about, you know, in this country, we are talking about women empowerment. We are talking about the girl-child empowerment. We are talking about empowering the youth. But we are not talking about empowering the poor. Once we empower the poor, we bring them on par, we empower them, then you will see that we will have a better society. And those people can also then positively contribute towards economic development.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Okay, this was very lengthy, but we needed to have the ground for everybody. So now we will do one more round. Of course, we'll engage the audience in not so many minutes from now, so that you also engage these panelists, you post your questions, and also make your contributions, but briefly. So this time around, we must try to be as brief as possible. I allowed long contributions because I needed just to know the grounds of each political party. But let's go back to the mayor, deputy mayor. There was mention, of course I cut you short earlier because there are other things that you wanted to say about the development. If you can maybe summarize it together with the situation about Farm 37 that has been mentioned here. People moved somewhere without basic services, to the extent, allegedly, that somebody died a week ago due to lack of services.
Thank you very much for the question. To start where I left off, I think I was heading into the waste management. To say, of course, we are all aware of the situation that was going on with the refuse removal. That was one of the unfortunate situations where we just woke up one day and were told all of the trucks are down. So we had to act quickly, and due to the financial prudence we have applied in the last years that we have, or in the few years that we have been there, we are proud to announce that that municipality is in good financial standard, and I think just a few months ago we were given a clear audit by the Deputy Auditor General because the good governance that we are putting in place, and of course good financial management. So we are able to act quickly, and we were in the better position to procure 5 refuse removal compactor trucks. Those have been delivered, they are with us. And as we speak, we are in the process of getting 2 more. We want to have at least 7, so that we are able to service the town better. The other ones that we are also in the process of procuring is the 2 sewer trucks. Of course, we are experiencing blockages of our pipes every time now and then. So we currently have 4, and we are adding 2 more to that fleet so that we are just in better position to deliver good, well-deserved services to our people. If I can go back to the issue of Farm 37, of course, the issue of Farm 37 is a hot potato, even in council. If you go into records, there is also some of us, colleagues of mine, that were vehemently determined to stop this relocation of people, of no services, no. But there is that outcry of land. People want land. And the residents of Walvis Bay made it very clear, whether there is no services, whether there is no what, we want to move there. The services will find us at Farm 37. And if you are in the leading position, we have seen how unfortunate, how realistic it is where Namibians, not only Walvis Bay residents, are crying for land. And we have decided if you provide services, first, the land becomes expensive. We would rather have the people own their properties, because even if you bring the services, you will not be able to take it away from them. And moving there was not by force. People were told there is extension 10 and 11 that is available. Whoever is willing to relocate is welcome to take up the property. No one was held at gunpoint to relocate to Farm 37. Of course, there is no services, that is true. Even the houses that are being constructed, there is no services. Bulk services are not there. But if you keep up with our social media page, you have seen that the bid of bulk services at Farm 37 was advertised. And of course, it has closed as we speak, and it will be awarded soon. And of course, the installation of bulk services at Farm 37 will begin. As far as the someone that has died there, of course, it's unfortunate, and I hope the brother rest in peace. But we cannot use that as an excuse to say people are dying because of that. It is unfortunate whether, you are here or you are there. It is not to say it's because of lack of services that the person has died. And if there is no clinic, I'm happy the sister is from the Ministry of Health. It is not the function of municipality to build the clinics there. It is not the function of it's not a function of municipality to build a police station at Farm 37. These are our stakeholders, and we have engaged them to say there is this plan to relocate people to Farm 37. Please come to the party. We are ready to avail that land. In our design, in our layout, the institutional elements are there. We are ready to have this facility, and we would appreciate if our stakeholders speed up the development and installation or establishment of these facilities at the farm. Farm 37 is reality. It is happening. We have seen there is no more land in Walvis Bay, this side of Quisabond, only a little bit left in Naraval. So we cannot keep holding it forever. People are relocating there. The population is growing. We are talking about the oil and gas industry that is booming. There is an influx of people coming to this side. So we have to hurry up, and I hope that the government continue with that availability of funds so that we can speed up that area to provide housing to the people as they come into town. Thank you, Toivo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'll go back to that Bartholomeus. There was mention of the issue of Red Force. I have said, even on my TV shows, when I have Minister Sankwasa on my show, of course, Minister has written to local authorities and told them to stop doing business with this entity. And for me, it's not very much about Red Force itself as a company, but the concept of outsourcing the function of debt collection to third parties. What is the ruling party's position on just that issue? It's a thorny issue across the country.
Thank you, Toivo, for that question. As I have indicated, a Swapo party have been ruling this Walvis Bay since 1994. We never, as a ruling party in this council, have hired any organization to collect debts on behalf of the municipality. So because municipality in its employment, there is a department that need to deal with the debt collectors. Municipality is just a service provider like a Rongoret or any others. But there's a Rongoret, they will never hire a service provider to come and collect them. Why? Because there's a system in place. Of course, the municipality also they have the debt collector department. So it was simple for them to either you disconnect water and so on, that the person will be forced to come and pay the water. Maybe while I have this for Toivo, is I want to emphasize this. It's very important to have the information or to give the community information and for the community to know where are we coming from and where are we heading. The population of Walvis Bay have been growing fast. One thing that we must remember is that Walvis Bay was integrated to Namibia in 1994. But then there was control of people coming to Walvis Bay. The first time I came in Walvis Bay, it was 1986. And the only accommodation that was available for me to come for the holiday, it was the compound. And Walvis Bay was that small. But after Walvis Bay was integrated to Walvis Bay, to Namibia, then it was open for everybody to come. Now, we have factories, fish factories, where they were only the workers were in the fishing factory were only men. There were no women working in the fish factories. But after that, then everybody comes. Now everybody is looking for employment in the fishing industry. So we came here with our families, then the population have grown. Now, every bus or vehicle that you see coming from either north or west or whatsoever, every day is having a person or two that are coming to Walvis Bay for the first time to look for employment. Now, if these brothers and sisters are coming in Walvis Bay, and I have only a ghetto, I have to accommodate him or her there. But once he got job, he also then will get a chance to construct his own ghetto because of the lack of land. That is why in 2015, with the assistance of the former governor, Muchavikwa, may he soul rest in peace, our councillors, they start looking for the land. And the land that they got was Farm 37. And the process was fast-tracked so that we can decongest Walvis Bay. And that land has got more plots. That land have the bigger size than of Walvis Bay already. So now, 2019, the council started with preparation for Farm 37 so that people can start now moving to Farm 37, provided that that land is serviced. That is why you see if one of our councillors at the municipality, as has been indicated by Deputy Mayor, she stood in the council chamber against moving people to Farm 37 without services. So she has made it very clear that it is inhuman. This Farm 37 was not meant to take people there without services. So, but now, these services has been delayed because those who came in power, they have denied this project from the beginning, and they were saying it is a Swapo project. Only when they realized that they could not have anything that they can do, then they start moving people to Farm 37 like that. Thank you.
Yes, yes, I like the spirit, man. I like the spirit. It's getting into the debate phase now, which I like. Mr. Gwanga, please tell us, react to any of those things. I don't want to box you with a question. Give us a brief comment just in what you have heard so far and what you want to do.
Yeah. Thank you. Coming to Farm 37, the first thing is, as I say that I'm representing the fishermen. These people, they lost their employment in 2015. And they played a big part in this Walvis Bay, this town of ours. Economically, and the development, since all of them were taxpayers and all these things. We are talking of more than 1,000 people. So if you go even at Faloloka, the people that burn, most of them come out of these fishermen, since they could no more having employment, they couldn't afford to stay where they used to. So the relocation of some people, even as we are talking of them being at Faloloka, we can even say that 40% of them might come out of this group also, the fishermen. So what is it? Farm 37 issue was, as my Honorable Deputy Mayor mentioned, the situation forced the people to go there. It was not done by anyone else. It was just because of there was no way. Even as Comrade Bartholomeus mentioned that your brother come and when he get employment, it's another ghetto, him he have to invite the sister. So the situation just continue. It's where no one was actually forced to be there, but the situation forced the people to be there. So actually, what is needed, it's only this process of splitting up the process of the services to be taken to the land. Because the people need the land, there is no way we cannot run away from it. The service have to be delivered. Finish.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Sharon, talk to us about the themes that are emerging now in this conversation. Is a controversy around those people who were moved to an area without services, and also outsourcing the function of debt collection to a third party. Your association's position on those issues?
Well, we realized that when they started with Farm 37, it became a rush job because the pressure was there because the people needed housing. And unfortunately, through the years of, how do I put this, non-compliance or people not doing the right thing, there's many areas where things were let slide. And when it came push to shove, it was rushed into without much, not much thought at all. When in the Kisepont public meetings about 4 years ago when this lot started, there already I started asking questions. And even to when the first shack went up, I couldn't wait to see it because I thought this man was a frontier pioneer that's moved there. He's named a street after himself. But when I drove past there, I suddenly realized, where is he putting his rubbish? A plain thing like that, where does he put his rubbish? There was a ablution facility, at least they had that. And when I asked the question of the municipality, they said, oh, ons het vergeet van dit. And that is what happens. So I want to say the responsibility of the different departments is not always carried through in the same aspect as the Red Force issue. The municipality had a credit control policy which lay dormant and was found on a desk dated 2015. Now, everybody knows if you don't pay your Ironga Red account, whoops, your account is, your lights are cut, the telephone is cut, whatever. Where they landed, I know. My question on that was in February of, because of the situation that it was last slide, and they didn't do anything about it and enforcing that. We had public meetings for the budget. And at every budget meeting I went to, they said, oh, the budget is copy-paste. It was copy-paste. We didn't talk about the budget. But look at these figures. We owe the municipality, we the people, the following month, they actually what happened the month that they cut the water? Because the people got a fright. Well, I must pay my water. How much did they get in at that time to make it that they could have done it the next month? We're going to cut you again. If you don't pay your account, we're going to cut you. Come make an arrangement first time. Then I said, do it every month. Now, and it's not happened. It cannot happen. There's a binding contract. So we've still got 3 years to go in Walvis Bay. We've still got 3 years to go in Walvis Bay. We're going to have to just bite fast and pay the accounts. And if you're paying something, at least it's encouraging the municipality.
Central government. You're a municipality, employment, some would argue that people don't have resources. It's central government's role.
The town, for the people. Here in Walvis Bay itself, I've never seen anywhere where they build houses on So what was the rush in taking people there?
When you service land and you have to get out the money that you put in, and land becomes unaffordable to these people if you are using that model. In other words, if they had serviced the land, that land would have become probably expensive for the many people that are there now. How would you have navigated that space?
In the first place, when they're saying that the land becomes expensive, you know, when you are referring to decongesting the town, it means these people that are congesting the town initially are unable to afford land, right? So when you're saying you are decongesting them, that means the plan that you have at the back of your mind is to build what is affordable to them. So if you're unable to do that, you cannot blame it on something else. We start from down here. You start at what your people really can build a house at a cost of 50,000. I think that was the cost that the people built those houses for. It is not impossible for people to afford that. But that is if you're providing it with everything like the Sheikh dwellers did. Those things are there. Those people's houses are having flushing toilets one way or the other. That was brought to play. So,
thank you. Thank you. Agustinium, please wrap up your thoughts in what has been said. Give us your comment on any of the issues that have been said so far. Not in so many words. Is there anything that you want to comment on specifically?
Number one, on the Red Force, what I would say is that as the residents of the town, we are entitled to pay our bills, or everybody in the nation across is entitled to pay their bills. But the problem with the Red Force, or how Red Force came about to be running after people on behalf of the municipality, because the argument of IPC is a systemic failure. I think we should understand is that, as what I listen to CEO name is that the municipality, everybody in the management in the municipality, putting the council aside, works for the councillors, works for the mayor. Now, with IPC having the majority of seats in the council, it is their baby to sit back, think about what the community wants, what the residents want, and to come up with a solution or a policy of how best to meet the community. So it is the duty of the majority-seated council members, because at the end of the day, by democracy, they get to go with the majority votes to say that, okay, instead of having to employ Red Force to do debt collection, they need to hold the administrative officers accountable to do their job. When it comes to housing,
let me just pause you there for a minute, Agustinium. So, council has 10 seats. Yes. IPC has 4 seats. 6 seats are with the rest of your political parties. Yes. LPM is there, PDM is there, Mr. Kwanga's party. Swapo has 3 seats there. The Association of Sharon is there. Yes. Where does the majority come from?
Now, let's look at where the majority comes from. Now, for a vote to be passed, there is something called, there's a management committee. Now, the parties need to come into coalition to ensure that some of the bills are passed. And in that coalition, we have PDM with the IPC. So that gives them the majority vote, which gives the upper hand to the IPC. So the failure of IPC is costing the communities a great lot.
Thank you, brother. Let's hear Lawrence. If you can sum up your thoughts before we give the audience the opportunity to engage us on any of the issues that have been raised.
Yeah, thank you very much, Toivo, once again. I think, in a nutshell, I think what it comes down to is that politics is failing us, actually. Because there's a saying that says that when 2 elephants fight, the grass suffers. So when the politicians sit in council and they fight, who suffers? Yeah. They cannot agree on basic things. They cannot agree. It's all about one political party trying to prove a point to another political party, and they are not listening. Political leaders should listen to the people. They should listen to the people. They should reach out to the people, try to find out from the people, what is it that you need? What is it that you are not under? Political leaders should lay aside their political differences and address those needs. Yeah. And that's the only way that we can bring about a difference. But if political leaders sit in the council and it's all about parties, my party and your party, even if you come up with a good point, simply because you are not from my party, I don't agree with you. Even though in the back of my mind, I know that what you are saying is actually correct. So that's why we come in as apolitical and not to the benefit of the people. And even if, my dream is that even the next council that would be voted into power, all the leaders, I think let's campaign politically before the elections. But after the elections, you come into the council, leave your party colors outside. For the people. Yes, reach out to the people, find out from the people what is it, how can we help you, and that council must actually also draw up a plan, a 5-year plan, and this plan must be based on what the people say they want. Absolutely. It should not be based on political ideologies from their political, but based on what the people want. What do you want?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We will now have a mic. Do we have a mic? Yes. So that our very exciting and hand clapping and everything can speak to us. So let's start with that. No, please. Yeah. He'll help you just now. Yes.
Hi, good evening. The audience
maybe just, sorry. Just some guidelines. Let's just keep the comments as brief as possible because we have not so many minutes left so that as many people as possible can engage the panel.
Okay, thank you. My point I want to make it, good evening ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? My name is Antonio Mremi. I'm from Swapo. But I've been, for the last 4 years, I was an IPC member. But I resigned from IPC, I went back to home to Swapo. What I want to make clear now, is, first, number one, people get in politics for stomach. If you ask Meme Sarah, the deputy mayor, since she joined municipality, she never get the salary. She claimed SNT to travel, but she's telling people that there was no money in municipality. You get money for traveling, for SNT, you get money for your salary, you are telling people there is no money. Every party got a manifesto. What was IPC manifesto when they went in the council? Zero. They brought Red Force. Red Force is destroying people. The cost of living is very high. Now even they wanted to charge people on the shacks. Each house which want to have a shack, they will charge on that one. It's IPC story. Red Force is IPC. The road is not the first time. It's not the first time the rain in Walvis Bay. It's not the first time. You cannot bring an excuse. You cannot bring an excuse of saying rain. You must have plan. You must have plan for you. When disaster comes, what is your plan B? Let's not fool people here. IPC promise people for change, but you are doing nothing.
Thank you, sir. To the lady. So, to the panelists, anything that is directed to you, please just take note. Okay, let's have some silence.
Good evening, Toivo and the panelists. Good evening, dear audience.
Is the mic on?
Can you hear me? Yeah. All right. My question is to my Honorable Deputy Mayor. You have indicated that there was no money when you came into the council. But I recall one of the council meetings where we have seen the budget. for 2020 if there was no money. Budget. That is my question. Municipality. And then I was not so impressed by saying, so I wanted to know this budget was at a gun point from a leader. No. I can just conclude to say, if I stood up now because I don't have a residence and decide to live in the compound of municipality, will be accommodated. Because the people decided and just come in. I attended one of the council meeting whereby the community of Walvis Bay was asking who are the people who are going to get land from these houses at Farm 37. I was so shocked to hear that these blocks were allocated to these entities or organizations. I'm not quite aware if these entities that you have mentioned here are aware that indeed these lands belong to them. I submit.
Thank you.
I submit.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good evening. My surname is Koseb, a former local authority councillor at the municipality of Walvis Bay. I just want to bring something home. The understanding of local authority governance within Namibia should be understood from a perspective of divorcing party politics from council chambers. That's one. The second one is the budgeting system within the local authority is as a result of a collective. If it's successful, it's because it has been as a result of a collective. If it fails, take it upon yourselves and make peace with the fact that you have failed. Moving forward, the incoming council, I'm pleading with the incoming council, don't move people to unserviced land. You are just inviting problems. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, the gentleman. Yeah, please.
Good evening. Thank you very much, and to all the panelists as well. My name is Johannes Charlie. I'm from IPC, an incoming council for rural constituency. Now, let the people of Walvis Bay understand the enemy of progress. Do you understand? So, we've been at Farm 37 before we moved the people there. And today we have thousands of people living there happily. Without services, while we know already that services gonna come. We have people who've been fighting for people not to have their own land. Today, we have families living there, and we don't have a record of 20 ghetto band at Farm 37 because everyone is living in with his own, let me say, elf or plot. You understand? So what is happening here? People living in one elf where we have 20 or 30 ghettos. Don't we see every day people burning in the ghettos? This is what the people, they are happy to see happening. So what we are saying, let us not fight. Let us not fight with the people. If the people say they want land, they want their own land that they can call it a home. So now we understand that who is the enemy of progress here. It's very clear. And even when we go to vote, let us vote for people who are thinking to bring land and service delivered for the people. And let us not focus on those. Many of them, they have land, they have flats. They want people to remain renting in their earth. Those who are speaking here, most of them, they are the one renting. So we don't accept that.
Thank you. Thank you. There was just a message. There's just a message. Silence. Silence, colleagues. There's a message. Somebody left a baby in the car. Somebody has a baby in the car. I think maybe the baby was sleeping, but it's awake now. Please go and attend to the baby in the car. Okay. Yeah, give it to the gentleman. I like the fact that we are keeping the comment short. Thank you for adhering to that request. Let's keep it that way. Short comments.
Good evening to you, the public, and of course the panelists. My name is John Hineko. I'm a community member. So as a community member, I think what we lack to understand is to differentiate between political decision and administrative decision. So, when we are hearing from the politician and they speak something very nice, we clap hands, but we don't know exactly what transpires in the administration, politically and administratively. So, these are the things I am now urging, probably now the incoming councillors, to teach the public, because we are talking about the red. I'm even wondering, people representing parties as panelists, people, elders that I respect so much, but they are speaking politically. They are not speaking holistically. So, Red Force, go to the administrative part. What is their power? Do they have the power to appoint? Why do they appoint? Maybe. Did the Red Force appointed by the council or by the administrative? That is what I'm trying to bring across. We don't know.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll take two more. Just give to whoever is having their hand up. Yeah. Let's give them short. I like that.
Colleagues, can we have orders in the house, please?
Yes.
Good
Order,
evening.
please. Evening.
My name is Teresa Sholika, coming from AR. I have one question for Deputy Mayor. Man, I'm disturbed by the mushrooming of federations that are doing the job instead on behalf of municipality. So far at my house, there were already 3 collecting names, and you need to pay this certain amount, so you get a house at Farm 37. They are becoming a lot now, and it's very disturbing. Who is gazetting this association or federations to collect names on behalf of municipality to get land and they will get houses? It's becoming disturbing. And when these people give their money and end up not getting land or housing, who is responsible? Who is to be questioned? Are they also being in the form of third person to get land on behalf of people, on behalf of municipality, I mean? Please, can we get clarification on this issue?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's just give, and then we go. Yeah, okay. No, it's fine. Please proceed, and then we'll take 2 from the back, and then we come back to the panelists.
Evening, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Nampala. I am the chairperson of the Tukwatha Youth Organization in the Erongo region. I actually just have questions to the political parties that are not in power yet. To IPC, you campaign on clean governance and citizen inclusions. As a youth, why hasn't IPC yet launched youth empowerment to LPM? LPM has applauded the youth that are running behind you, apart from the heavenly songs that we saw on television or job like we wish that directly empowered already youth PDM by the PDM talks about youth empowerment as well. Why hasn't that or in waiting for you guys to go in? Or what is as a youth for me to rally behind you? What am I really rallying behind? Do I just wait for you to be in power? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So 2 at the back, and then we come back to the panel. Okay.
Good evening. My name is Joel Shingoya, a Walvis Bay resident. I just want to quickly point out one thing. What I just sat here for a few moments, but it's a clear manifestation that we're creating a Farm 37 as a political bone of contention. This one is saying that one is saying this. It seems like there is a general tendency of us to gamble with the people's life, and we're not delivering what we're saying. I think we need to get ourselves and our priorities right. The second question is just it's a question but an observation. It's a national issue when you look at it. Every time people speak about housing and the land, if you look at the way the land is being distributed, people are always speaking about the poor and the rich, right? But if you look closely in Namibia, there's a gap of people that are being left out. The people that are renting, there are people that can afford to rent, but can't afford to buy a house. With a bank, mostly that's the entities that we use to buy houses. But you are too poor to go to the shack dwellers. If you go there, they tell you, seems like there's a salary cap that goes in to say, for you to be here, there's a salary cap that they kept you on. You overqualify by the shack dwellers, but then you underqualify at the formal housing projects. What are we doing to these people? What is our plan with these people? It's the same thing as, I'm bringing out a different topic. It's the same narrative as the age group in Namibia. There is always an age group that starts from 18 to 25 or to 35. But then when you go to 36, up to 55, you're still an eligible individual, able-bodied to work, but then you are left out. What is our plan, all of us, with that kind of group of people that too rich for shacks, but too poor for formal houses? What are we doing to that group of people? What is our plan? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Connie from Walvis Bay, Quisebund. So, we are talking about housing, everything. We are tired, we the community of Quisebund. I'd never seen Walvis Bay bad like this. I'm 52 years old now. I'm telling you, I had never seen Walvis Bay in this state in my life. I'm born here, I'm here all the time. So, people are coming from the other side. Grab houses, grab land. I'm going to talk just the truth. Municipality, the street, Sandwich Street, my street, you put interlocks in. The shed is still coming out on top of the interlocks. How much money was that? 30 million or how much is still going on? Did somebody go and inspect? No. Kids are playing in the shit. So, you say there's no land. Land is there by Farm 37. But you give away the mall, the birds' place, where the birds are, where our people coming from other places, the journalists and tourists, to capture those beautiful flamingo birds. You give it away for houses, and you chase our people that side. No, you must be ashamed. You give away dunes in charge to give dunes away. We are born here. We went to Dune 7, how many times? We shit there on the dunes, we piss on the dunes, there were no problem. You build one toilet and you save $50. You must be ashamed. You are not born in Walvis Bay, that's why. That's why. We know the history. I'm going to tell you still, the Boers, those years before independence, built Quisebund, Olokasi, but that land was service. They chased our mothers, our grandmothers inside that, from there to the old location. The land was service, I'm telling you. You cannot chase people to an unserviced land and hope things will be good. Never. Please, we grab land there 2 years. But the people, they grab the land. They say, no, the land is not service. When they decide, you freely go. Where is the police? Where is the military to stop the things? Sorry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. To the last gentleman, yeah, please come back here.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. My name is Ambrosius Swapo, 2000, and I was also part of certain establishment, including Erongo. Farm was started by Swapo. Swapo, it was a political agenda of Swapo for 10 years. Nobody can deny that. Secondly, what happened with Farm 30, WBCA took the idea in rush. so that they can score a political point. Without politics will never solve. Must implement their political manifestos, while an independent candidate or whoever, just for instance, might also a charge for cleaning of open spaces on every account. I was asking why. Who's also a charge for cleaning of open spaces on every account? I was asking why. Who decide on this? And you, us, we are charged that amount, which we didn't agree. I can, in 2003, there was a charge or a levy for fire brigade that was added onto our accounts. Again today I saw an added for fire brigade. So how many times should we pay for fire brigade? And what is the open space levy? And then you will also see on your account, there is a commission, collection commission. Who decided on that? But I must pay. In my case, Red Force did not come by force. They are Red Force, but they didn't come by force. And Red Force was kicked out today, because it's not me who decided on that. So why are the councillors afraid and the political parties afraid to remove Red Force? Even if you go to court, you can even go to constitutional court.
Thank you,
remove them. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Mine is just an input, because I have to speak after my fellow colleague was also the mayor of Uis. We were together in the same class. My name is King Mandube Matunga, your former mayor. Mine is just an input. Basically what needed to happen, classical example, if the municipality of Walvis Bay could I serve on the steering committee of Tutaleni. I was there when we started. And what we did at Tutaleni, because it was open land, we developed the area, creating an area of 400. For me, I thought municipality can use the same classical example. Mine is just an input. It's just an input. Tutaleni municipality. Mine is just an input, not a comment. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We are done with the audience for now. Let's now go back to the panel, starting with the Deputy Mayor. You have taken a lot of body shots. So please set the record straight. Let's give the panelists an opportunity with silence, please, friends. Please. Go ahead, Meme Mutondoga.
Mic of yours on. Thank you. You have allowed this gathering to turn into a municipality community meeting now. I will touch on some items that I think can be touched on at this platform. Perhaps let me start with the issue of Red Force. One of the audience member have tried to explain that there is a difference between administrative functions and political functions. When you are a councillor and my brother is here vying to have a seat again there are certain functions that lie with administration, and you as a councillor, if you try to to be part of, it will be termed as interference in administrative matters. When we are talking about the appointment of debt collectors, these are administrative functions. Councillor did not appoint Red Force. One of my colleagues has
Order. So, yeah.
Toivo, am I protected?
Okay. Okay. No. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we can, of my colleague, he's sitting here, put in a motion to say, let us get rid of Red Force. That motion was unopposed. And when we did the annihilation of that contract, the Red Force went to court. And the court has said this contract is valid for 5 years. What the minister has said now is that he gave out that directive, which I don't know if it's lawful or not, to say no more appointment of Red Force. Now the problem here is we are trying to score political points through Red Force. But the reality is no 10 councillors have signed that contract or appointed Red Force. None of us. None of us. Okay. As much as we try to pinpoint it on IPC, no council was party to the appointment of Red Force. Toivo, without wasting time, let me go on to the issue of youth empowerment by IPC. Of course, we have launched our student forum where students and youth can sit in and share matters of interest that they can forward to the party for implementation or for consideration. And through council, we have assisted a lot of youth through youth organized programs. This was done through the Climate Fund. This fund was availed to us from the Bloomberg philanthropist, and a lot of youth has benefited from that fund. That is through the council. And then I am wearing both hats, please. Allow me. The other thing, Toivo, that I want to touch on, I think finally, is the issue of my brother here was a former IPC, and I'm glad he spoke about the politics of the stomach, because I remember when we failed to make him a director to Red Force. That is when he decided, not Red Force, director to Erongo Red. When we, you see the problem, Toivo. I'm not protected.
Wait. No, wait, colleagues. So I just, yeah, no, let's listen. Let's listen. There's wisdom in listening.
No, I was saying.
Please explain that bit. What do you mean, director in Red Force?
The problem I have here is that IPC became everyone's enemy. Even my colleagues here are attacking me now. IPC has become enemies to all of us. So the point I was making is, Toivo, that my brother, when we failed to appoint him as a director of the board to Erongo Red, that is when he deserted us and left to Swapo. In the final, okay. The final remarks, Toivo.
Okay. Let's go.
This marks.
Yeah, let's go.
In my final remarks.
Final remarks. Listen, colleagues. Let's listen.
In the final remarks is that we as council, we are determined to give land to the people of Walvis Bay. That is one. People are living in shacks. And those of us that are living comfortably in our houses or in our flats, we can say that project was rushed. But you go and talk to those people that are there and hear what they are saying about the fact that they were able to receive land that they can call their own. We can all say that the project was rushed, but when you are a leader, and you look into people's eyes that are in so much anguish and in so much destitute, You ought to make the right decision
Thank
that
you.
benefit their lives.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. We have only 5 minutes left. Sharon, if you can give us your wrap up, if you can wrap up your thoughts for us quickly. I will give everybody that opportunity where you just really wrap up your thoughts and make that final push, but very, very briefly.
Okay, I just want to say that all we're hearing is wah, 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 we want the power. Very seldom that the people actually talk about our residents, our town, and what are we going to do about it. We as a community must stand together because we cannot do this on our own. We must demand good service, accountability, transparency from the administrators. Because if they're not doing the job, it goes down the road, onto the ground, and there's the pothole again. So, community, please, we've got to stand together as one and get our town back to where it was. We cannot go on like this. There are ships coming in. I believe there was something like 49,000, I'll forget the figures now, or 40 odd ships, passenger liners coming in this next season. And I cringe when I think of all those foreign tourists having to walk down Esplanade to go look at our flamingos, and the tour, excuse me sir, I'm talking. Thank you. That the tourist operators who are bringing money in the town have got to ride on that road. Yeah. It is disgraceful. It's disgraceful that there's one public toilet that is available for the tourists or the people visiting the lagoon area, but it's kept locked. When the ship came in and I inquired, the first thing I did was phone to find out is the toilet open, only to be told the contractor said it has been unserviceable for a year. So she told him, lock it up. Now, what do you do when a tourist is walking around town, or yourself? You're walking around and you can't use ablution facilities.
Thank you,
Thank
Sharon.
you.
Thank you. Kuhanga? Mr. Kuhanga? Yeah. Your thoughts in short? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. In my conclusion, on the issue that was raised by one of my colleagues regarding the, I can call it the middle class, not federation you cannot because of the payment that you receive and you are just renting the bank and also not give you the loan. I think on that one, I pay with you that there we need inclusivity for all. So there we have to work on it so that all can be included, because really housing is not only for the poor, but all of us as inhabitants of this town, we need housing. I think it's where we came to need leaders that will have people at heart, not corrupt leaders. Corruption is the root that is causing the community to live the way they are living. And in my conclusion is, I just want to say, we are living in a town that is having a sea where we are getting fish. But even to afford to eat fish in this town, it's so expensive. Yeah. What is the cause of all this? This is why we need to go vote out there for the right leaders that is going to address these issues. Thank you.
Patrick, your thoughts?
Okay, thank you very much. I want to start with a mantle that from our president, Correct Tumbonani Ndaitwa, where she is.
Allow Patrick to wrap up his thoughts, please.
Okay, the mantle of business unusual is a real. We have a Swapo Party Manifesto Implementation Plan that have deliverables plans with a set date. Of course, we residents of Walvis Bay, you have overheard from our mayor of this town that Walvis Bay is find itself in the shamble condition that never been found before. So now it is our residents' responsibility to see to it that, and think deep, and see to it that we retain this town back to Swapo. We are ready to repair this town. We are ready to reclaim, we are ready to renew this town. So it's unfortunate that the coalition that has been leading this town, which is the IPC, PDM, and association, they have let this town down. And of course, thank you for LPM that have been voting for the good cause of the town, but so we could not succeed, but by the majority. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Meme Philippus, your final thoughts, very briefly also.
Okay, well, Mr. Toivo, there was a question posted directly to AR, so I need to attend to it. I cannot leave that stone unturned because the question was directed to AR. You asked if there are any youth-led programs by AR. I'm surprised there is a youth in Walvis Bay or a Namibian youth that we don't know about the massive land applications that were initiated by AR across the country. AR was able to sit around the table as an unrecognized movement with our late President Hage Geingob. With our late President Hage Geingob, for this, that came to the conclusion of the massive land servicing. It is surprising that the youth in Namibia is not aware of that. We have a student command also, as AR, we also have a student command where we tackle matters of the youth. And the other, I actually wanted to add something. When it comes to things like Red Force, for instance, we need to, I grew up in this town of Walvis Bay. Somebody asked a question somebody asked a question on the provision of housing for the middle income class, right? I am proudly saying that I live in a house, I grew up in a house in Walvis Bay that was built by the municipality of Walvis Bay. Not through bank servicing, but directly from the municipality of Walvis Bay. And not from shack dwellers or any other associations, but directly by the municipality of Walvis Bay, which means that is a feasible something to cover for that class. There's no way. Well, so the issue of Red Force is that it is not difficult. Unfortunately, contractual agreements are there that unfortunately our municipality has binded itself into with the Red Force. But in the meanwhile, what are we doing to remedy this problem, right? So in remedying this problem, our solution would be that we fix and capacitate that department in the municipality that is supposed to do credit controlling, right? Because if the person is not rendering the required service, then you get rid of the person that is not performing. Why are you keeping the person in position if they are not performing?
Thank you, Rejoice.
There was a point of, sorry, Toivo, let me just finish it off, please. There was a point of, okay, yes. So we can remedy that by fixing that credit control issue. Or we go to a simple issue like the Erongo Red did. You go to prepaid water. We cut out this story of owing the municipality been owed money, they receive their money on time, they are able to render the services on time.
Thank you.
Yes, we need to come up with solutions, guys, and not just problems.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you. Mr. I like your name, I must admit, Augustinium, it's such a wonderful name. Please wrap up your thoughts for us.
Okay, thank you, Toivo. To wrap up part of my discussions, I would number one say that let me talk of solutions more to say, to start Walvis Bay in the beginning, as it was alluded, was only for a few people that were working there on contract basis and they had to go back. So once Walvis Bay was given over to Namibia by South Africa in 1994, probably the year I was born, when Swapo took over Walvis Bay, the mistake they made was, without proper planning of the growing population, they opened up the town to the mass majority. That is the failure that has been done. And IPC in the long run inherited the broken town, and their argument that they will still say is that it's a systemic issue, but they had something to solve, to say that in solutions you have short-term plans, mid-term plans, and long-term plans. So IPC's goal was to say, this is our short-term plan to deal with the roads. This is our short-term plan to deal with the sewage problem, mid-term plan and the long-term plan. There are things such as the vacuum or the storm water vacuum systems that can be implemented, or to divert the sewer and the storm water mixing, things like that. There are ways that we can advance the road system because we are innovative, and that is where the youth come in. Where my sister asked, how is youth included in this? There are policies that can be tabled, that can be thrown out to say, let's involve youth in innovation, because this is a youthful generation. We have 71% youth by statistics in Namibia, and it says that Namibia is driven by the youth, and youth are people with innovative mindsets. So an older person cannot come up with an idea of a nation that is forever expanding. We are growing and we are moving into industrial revolution, and an old person of the dungeons does not have that idea of what the youth needs for the future. So in conclusion, I will say it's vote for LPM and let's be innovative.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's just wrap. We're almost done. Lawrence, you have the last throw of the dice.
Last throw of the dice. Thank you very much. All I would say in conclusion is that Walvis Bay is a town with great potential. From my own personal experience, from my own personal opinion, it should actually become a city, you know, if we all work together towards the advancements of this town. It can become a city. I mean, we have the fish, we have the harbor, we have potential as a town. But there is no political will. There is no political will. We must lay aside that self-serving attitude, that corruption that we're talking about. When people are corrupt, when people only think about themselves and they don't think about the people that they are leading, that is when we have the problems that we're experiencing. Let us awake this sleeping giant of Walvis Bay. Let's work together like our former late president say, let us pull in one direction. If we all unite and pull in one direction, then we can achieve. There's nothing that can stop us. Yeah. So for
Thank
me,
you.
it is my call to you, and also to the residents and the community of Walvis Bay. At the end of the day, you wrongly think that power rests with the mayor or power rests with the councillors. No, the power rests with you, within you. You are the one who makes the choices. You are the ones who vote and elect people into positions of power. At the end of the day, you complain against the same people that you yourselves elected. So make wise decisions. Be wise in your decision making. Be wise when you go and vote. Because at the end of the day, from my perspective, you only have yourselves to blame if things don't go your way. Because you vote and you put them into power.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all the panelists. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you, Agustinium. Thank you, Rejoice. Thank you, Tate Patrick. Thank you, Mr. Kuhanga. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, our host, Deputy Mayor, for your time and for your bold and revolutionary ideas. It came out clear that everybody has the same idea for this wonderful harbour town. It's just a question of maybe your approach is different, but at the end of the day, you seem to all want what is best for the residents of your town. Thank you very much for coming to the platform, and we appreciate your time. All the best in November. Thank you. And to our audience, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.